What's up everybody, and welcome to a Borderlands 4 build guide. And in this video we're going to be going over my Vex Minion build. Since it is a Minion build, it is going to center around Dead Ringer and the blue tree. Half of your skills are going to go into the blue tree and the other half the red. This action skill allows Vex to spawn clones of herself. One is a Reaper, which is melee focused. It also can taunt enemies, so if you need to lose the aggro, spawn that in, and it will take most of the aggro from you. The other is a Spectre. It is ranged and deals gun damage, but it can't move around like the Reaper does. You can see down there at the bottom of the card, that is the Reaper and Spectre damage. This action skill isn't based on duration, it is based on the health of your clones. They lose 5% of their health per second, and then that increases by 4% per second. So it is increasingly more and more of their health gone. And then it's got a cooldown of 35 seconds. You can have 3 charges. You spawn 3 different variants of yourself, but there is a limit. So there's a skill at the very bottom that gives you an extra charge, but you can still only have 3 on the field. So we're not going to worry about that. The first skill point, you're going to put all 5 points into Cold Iron. That is going to boost your gun damage, but more importantly, your minion gun damage. And then right below that, you're going to put all 5 points into Portents of Suffering. That's going to give both you and your minions increased status effect damage. Down here at the bottom, I like to split my skill points. And this one on the far left is Blood Sacrifice, which when your minion dies, it's going to activate your kill skills. So the first kill skill is going to be Grave Fiends. I put 2 points into it. And whenever you kill an enemy, you're going to be dealing increased damage. It has 3 stacks. That's 15% more damage. And this one on the right is Grave Quickening. Whenever you or your minion gets a kill, it's gonna increase your action skill cooldown rate. Got 3 stacks. I have 3 points, one being from a class mod I have, but that would be 31%. And then we move down here, we're gonna go down this left tree here. Our first augment is gonna be Wither. When you spawn your ranged, your Spectre, it is going to automatically cast Wither, dealing status effect damage and increasing the damage they take. When you kill that withered enemy, it lets your Spectres then cast Wither again. Those withered enemies are going to take 30% more damage for 15 seconds, on top of the 361 the damage from the skill itself per second. We're going to move to Prismatic Ichor. We're going to put all 5 points into that. Whenever you apply a status effect, you will apply a random status effect on top of that. And with 5 points, that's 150% status effect damage. Huge chunk. If you have a gun with a insane amount of status effect damage, you are just going to be melting mobs and bosses. And then we're going to move down here to Keen Suffering. We're going to put all 5 points into that. That's going to give your status effects a chance to crit. Your status effects critting is so much potential damage because you're also applying other status effects at the same time. And we're going to be able to increase our crit damage in the red tree. And at the bottom, we're going to take our Capstone Heirloom, which is going to give your Spectres a copy of your gun for 10 seconds. And they are going to deal 100% of the gun damage of your equipped gun to the enemy. The Complex Route is my favorite choice because when you shoot it, it splits, and then you just have your minion also shooting it. And that's just an insane amount of damage, and it's critting. And that's going to be it for the blue tree. So we'll move over here to the red tree. This center skill is going to be Blood is Magic. It's just going to give you more action skill damage the higher that your health is. 35% more damage when you're at full health. That is a 35% more damage on top of the 268 and the other 30%. So that's 65% more damage for your minions when you're at full health. This can be another kill skill. It's overprotective. When you get a kill, you gain overshield. It's just for survivability. Vex is a very squishy character, so having more shield can't hurt. Then we're gonna move down here to the bottom right. It's gonna increase crit damage for you and your minions by 25%. So when your status effects crit, they're gonna hit even harder now. Because remember, you're boosting status effect damage from the blue tree also. And we're gonna move down here to the middle tree to Keen Fiends. This is gonna give your minions a chance to crit on any part of the enemy's body. I was kind of against this, but having your minions just being able to naturally crit anywhere than just getting lucky and hitting the head makes our next skill way better. If you have the Jacob's crit knife, you know everything's going to be a crit anyways, so it's not that important, but that will probably get nerfed soon. Or if you're watching this from the future, you might have already have, so this skill is still a must. You can't be relying on the crit knife. There's so many better grenades and stuff like that that are way cooler out in the game. I played around, I did a lot of testing with Elemental Essence. You gain increased elemental damage, which is good, but your status effects that are critting and stuff like that, they don't benefit from elemental damage. That's a whole separate thing. And then the effect being doubled when your action skill is active, for some reason, your minions, when they're out, just don't count as action skill being active. It is when you're doing the animation of pulling it and choosing which minion to pull out. It's not a completely useless skill, but you won't ever get the double because your action skill is technically never active. And then we're gonna put the last 4 of our points down here into Reawakening, that whenever you crit or your minions crit, you get a chance that your action skill gets refunded 4 seconds. So it's a 35-second skill. You have to wait 2 seconds every time for this to proc. If you get this to proc every single time, your action skill is only an 11-second cooldown. And since you have this right here, that's a 20% chance that your minions are going to crit, on top of a 20% chance that that crit then knocks off 4 seconds of your action skill. With a Jacob's Knife, you're always critting. Have a high fire rate weapon like the complex route, then you're always critting, you're always going to have your action skill up. Like I said, there is a 2-second cooldown between procs, so 33 seconds, 20, 22 seconds, 19, already, like it's almost back. We'll go over kind of like some weapons that you could use. Like I said, the complex route is a really good one. Use the plasma coil. I really like the affinity, really fun. Your minions don't have to reload or worry about the overheated mechanics. Another one of my favorites is the Rainbow Vomit. If you're looking into class mods, I would look into finding a Ritualist, especially one that boosts action skill damage and status effect damage. This one specifically boosts Grave Quickening, so that's going to give me more action skill cooldown rate. It's also giving me 3 points into Elemental Essence, so I don't have to, so I'm getting more elemental damage and I won't have to worry about speccing points into it. And then it's putting 3 points into Channeling, which is completely useless again because it's not based on duration, based on the health of your minions. Another class mod that I recommend using is Vex's Illusionist mod. It's a legendary class mod. It drops from Callus, but it gives your minions a chance to become a badass, which is going to increase their damage and increase their health. It's also going to reduce the amount of health lost per second by 33%. And if you wanted to kind of sacrifice gun damage for having your minions out longer, you could spec your 5 points, or you could split the points into Sanguine Fiends, which on kill is going to restore your health and your minions' health. And also, I didn't want to have any specialization spec'd in, just that would influence the damage of this build. And that's pretty much the Vex Minion build. If you guys have any questions or you have some changes that you think are better, please let me know down in the comments. I would love for the feedback. Love to hear what kind of builds that you guys are running. I know the bleed build is insanely broken. I used that a majority of my playthrough without even knowing that it was going to be like most insane, but it's mostly this skill here, but that's going to get nerfed anyways. That's why I don't want to cover a build that's going to get nerfed or not work properly. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you guys have any questions or you want to just shoot me what build you're using on any of your Vault Hunters, go right ahead. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.